Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is October 19th, and right now we're looking at the infrared satellite imagery. You can see the state of California here. We got Baja, we got Hurricane Norma down here spinning, continuing its trek northward. Could be some impacts on the west coast, daring up towards Cabo over the next couple days. Take a look at that in some detail. But we've got some warm weather here across much of California and a lot of the southwest, and that's going to be coming to an end here. And we're going to go through a pretty nice change as we go on in through the weekend into early next week. Some precipitation possible all the way down through Southern California as well. Even a little snow for the Sierra Nevada is possible. We'll take a look at those details as we go. Let's go ahead and jump into a 3D look at Hurricane Norma there, and you can see it spinning. You got Mazatlan, Guadalajara is here. You got Manzanillo, Puerto Vallarta, Zihuatanejo is here, and here is Cabo, and it's likely to be a hurricane pretty close to Cabo here. So interesting stuff. Nice representation here on the long wave infrared satellite imagery. And if we just go ahead and jump back into things here, you can see that you got tropical storm force wind probabilities. Again, some of the west coast there could be getting some of that action. And Cabo, those probabilities are increasing for some tropical storm force gusts there as well. Also some heavy rain. You're looking 3+ inches most likely there for Cabo, getting some better agreement within the ensembles. And the control run actually had 4 to 5 inches of rain there in a 24-hour period coming up. Looking at the fire activity across some of the central and southern Sierra Nevada, still some fires going out there. These are not big fires. They are not growing that rapidly, but you can see them here on the GOES 18 satellite imagery. So you're not imagining it. There still are some fires out there, and maybe a couple of these systems here can help start to put that out. We're not looking at huge amounts of precip coming down here, but definitely the cooler temperatures as we go on in through next week will help. And if we scroll around here, you can see there is some dense fog right up along the coastline, even for some of the Los Angeles metro here. You can see that fog made its way inland for Orange County, LAX there, San Diego, and you can kind of see the Von Carmen vortex downstream here, some of the islands out there as well. Always something fun to look at here on the GOES 18 satellite. And if you're wondering, there's Lake Tulare out there as well, and we'll see how long that's going to hold on. Could be a year or two if we get a lot of precip this upcoming fall, winter, and early spring. This is the high surf advisory. Goes through today, 7 p.m. Thursday, and a lot of the central and the Bay Area here under that high surf advisory. Some of Southern California, which we'll look at here in a minute, is also under the high surf advisory. This is the wave action. So this is last night's run. So you can see today that wave action continuing along a lot of the California coastline here, but we start to relax as we go through tonight into tomorrow. And you can kind of see we get a bit of a break here before maybe the next system starts to ramp up here, and maybe we'll bring some additional wave activity down the coast of North America into California as we go on through mid and later portion of next week, I should say. This will be October 26th shown here. Now, this is looking at the heat advisory out there. Except for the immediate coastline, you can see it's not an excessive heat watch or excessive heat warning. It's a heat advisory here. Compared to summer times, these are not that extreme of temperatures, but it is downright warm, and some areas are going to be up towards daily record highs for today. So heads up, you guys know the drill out there. And this is Los Angeles. You got the heat advisory as well for some areas. You got dense fog advisories. You got beach hazard statements, and you got marine statements out there. You got high surf advisories. So heads up for that. If we go ahead and look at that high surf advisory, you can see large breaking waves 10 to 15 feet with local sets to 20 are expected on west and northwest facing beaches into tonight. So heads up for that. You guys know the drill. Watch out for those rip currents. Taking a look here, the near record heat Thursday and Friday for some areas. Look at Bakersfield, 94 today and tomorrow. So if you like the heat, get out there and enjoy that, because we got big changes coming, as you see, perhaps dropping 20 degrees as we go on in through Sunday for many areas. Death Valley down into 93-degree range there as well. You can see Lancaster and the Bay Area definitely cooling way down here as we go into this weekend. Now, here's looking at the European. This is the 06Z versus itself, the 0Z run of yesterday. So we're trying to get some confidence on this next system. You can see our ridge, so we're bringing the warm temperatures, pushing off to the east, and then we quickly cool down this weekend here for many areas. And pretty good agreement now. We're gaining confidence in this trough moving down across California, all the way across Southern California. And then what we're watching after that is the next trough trying to swing through the Pacific Northwest. How much of the Intermountain West in California will that trough include? You can see the 06Z actually trended a little bit further south as this next trough. But in the short term here, we've got good model agreement that we are definitely going to cool down here as we go through the weekend and on in through the early portion of next week. We've got some precipitation chances with this as well. This is looking at the GFS 12Z. This is hot off the presses, you guys. So I'm going to update this. This is updating and more data is coming in as I speak. You can see Hurricane Norma down here approaching Cabo. Our ridge moves off to the east here, and the GFS in good agreement now with the European. We are definitely going to cool down. Very high confidence in the cool down coming up here as we go through the weekend into early next week. And then you can see the GFS showing that next system here moving down over some of the Pacific Northwest and Intermountain West. How much of a California will that include? There's still some pretty good discrepancy between run to run and within the European and the GFS, just exactly where that's going to show up. You can kind of see this trough hanging out all the way through the end of October, however, as this ridge starts to build on the other side of it between these two troughs up towards the Pacific Northwest. So we got a lot to watch here as we go through the next few days also. This is looking at the European ensemble mean. So this is the average of all 50 European ensemble members. We run 50 of them and we perturb their initial conditions to try to correct for any errors in our initial conditions on our forecast. And so as we scroll out here, this is going to go out 144 hours. This is last night's run. This is total precipitation in inches. And you can see as we go through Saturday night, some of that approaching the Northwest California coastline there and the Bay Area, and some of the valley may even get some rainfall out of this. Look at that. It might be a nice rainy day coming up here. Some precip for the northern Sierra Nevada and some precip coming down all the way across Southern California. Do you believe? Cross your fingers there. And as we go towards the end of the run, you can see a little bit of moisture moving up from a tropical storm or Hurricane Norma, whatever it would be at that point, into southeast Arizona. So interesting stuff there. And you can see at the very end of the run, did you see that across Northern California, that next trough starting to show itself as well? And that could bring more precip down into the area. We'll watch that one, of course. But in the short term, we've got some decent chances for some precip, especially the northern half of California here, but even all the way down across some of Southern California. So that's what we'll be watching closely, and I can't wait for the high-resolution models to come into range here over the next day or so. This is the ensemble mean. This is 6-hour precipitation. We're looking at the timing here a little bit more. This is that system rolling in here as we go through Saturday night into Sunday morning. You can see that precipitation during the day Sunday across the northern half, and then some of that coming down as we go on into late Sunday night, early Monday morning. Could bring some precip down across Southern California, especially the higher terrain, and then maybe some of that moisture moving up across eastern Arizona as we go on in through Monday night from that tropical storm remnants probably at that point. And then you can see the next system approaching as we go on in through Tuesday afternoon shown there. So lots to watch here. Interesting stuff. This is the European ensemble mean total snow 10-to-1 ratio. So let's put this into motion, and you can see it does bring a little bit of snowfall for some of the Sierra Nevada here. Not a huge snowstorm or anything by any means, but it does show this is a pretty chilly trough moving out across the area. And then you can see the next trough just starting to move in here and maybe bringing some more snowfall with it. This is looking at the GFS. This is hot off the presses. Total snow 10-to-1 ratio. If we put this into motion, let's see what this says. You can see it does bring some snow for the central, maybe some just south of Lake Tahoe there. And yeah, so it brings a little bit of snow. Then we've got a colder upper level low trying to drop down across the area as well. Maybe getting some of the Intermountain West here. The GFS, not too bullish on bringing additional snow with that one just yet, but we'll continue to watch that. Things have been changing run to run. This is Ontario. You can see the warmth we're experiencing now, but by the time you get towards Sunday here, check it out. Just expecting even below average temperatures here for Sunday and Monday, and then just kind of an average look towards the end of the month coming up. And Bakersfield as well, probably some below average conditions here on October 23rd. Then some, right around normal, maybe a little bit above here. But again, this is bound to change back and forth. This red line marks the normal temperatures for this time of year. And you can kind of see how things start to trail off as we go through October towards November for Bakersfield. Average temperature 80, but by the time you get towards the November 3rd time frame, you're down into the lower 70s there. San Francisco, enjoy that day today. Look at that, up towards 90 degrees here, then dropping right back down towards normal and staying there for the extended forecast. This is Blythe out there in the desert, and you can see by the time you get towards Monday, things are definitely going to be down towards average, maybe a little bit below there. But you can see how temperatures start trailing off this time of year. You're looking at 93 October 19th or so. Then you're looking at what? You're down towards 82 here or so. You're losing. This would be 87 or so, and this would be more like 82. So you are losing some temperature here as you go through on in through early November. This is Los Angeles, Oxnard here, and you can kind of see not too much of a warm-up occurred with this here, and you can kind of see average temperatures through the extended forecast. You can also see these blue lines here mark the discrepancy between the ensemble members as you go on through the extended. Some of these have below, some have above here. So we'll watch that over the next few days. San Bernardino, you can expect some below average temperatures as we go through early portion of next week, and then kind of average rounding out the end of the month. Here's Palm Springs as well, similar picture. This is the 6 to 10 day. This is going to be updated here pretty soon. Let me update that. No, I'm still not having it. But this has been changing back and forth as well. So you can see a little sliver of above normal here starting to show up as well. But there's that big chunk of below normal with those troughs hanging around a lot of the west. 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook as well. And this is looking at the drought monitor. Check it out for California. Completely drought free. Very good news. There are a few abnormally dry areas here. That's nothing to be concerned about. This is quite the rare sight. Remember this in the upcoming years because, as you guys know, at this time last year, we were dealing with some extreme drought out there. So, nice stuff there. This is the drought severity index by division, weekly value for a period ending October 14th. So you can kind of see it is a little bit moderate drought starting to show up there in some of these indices, but you can see where Tropical Storm Hillary came up across California into Nevada, into Southwest Oregon as well. And Southwest California doing pretty well right now. You're looking at a moist spell also. So interesting stuff there. This is short-term composite drought indicator, and you can clearly see where the Tropical Storm Hillary came up and across the area there, and a lot of California doing pretty well overall. This is the long-term, a little bit different picture for some of Northern California, but still not too bad. And you can kind of see the hinting of where Hillary moved up over the region. But anyway, interesting stuff. We're going to watch this trough closely. It's kind of been back and forth. The GFS actually had some interesting stuff in it where it took away the trough yesterday, the secondary one. But the first one is pretty good model agreement. We're definitely going to drop temperatures down, and we're going to bring chances of precip all across the state of California coming up here for the next few days on in through early next week. So we will go ahead and, we'll just continue to watch this day by day. That little beeping you heard there is when the radar Omega there brings a new radar loop in there. So it's adding more data to this loop. So interesting stuff there. This is the app Radar Omega. I highly recommend it here. It gives a nice three-dimensional view, and you can scroll around on that, and you can change the angle and whatnot. So cool stuff. But anyway, hope you guys are liking these videos. Click like and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys again tomorrow.